A video. Hey, it's Maya, and here is my final learning synthesis. I am going to start with oral language, which I really think just is a very broad term that kind of includes everything that is in this PowerPoint. It includes everything we hear and say. It includes syntax, phonics, and vocabulary. Next, I'm going to talk about fluency in its parts and how comprehension and vocabulary help fluency and how they kind of go hand in hand. Fluency is rate, accuracy, prosody, and automaticity. Fluency helps with comprehension. The better they are at rate, accuracy, prosody, and automaticity, the better students can understand and comprehend what they are reading. Vocabulary can help fluency as well as comprehension. It can help them understand what they're reading, help decode words faster, which helps with their rate, accuracy, and automaticity and everything. Next, I'm going to go into phonemic and phonological awareness and how these are different and similar. The smallest unit of sound is a phoneme. The ability to manipulate, hear, and identify these sounds is phonemic awareness. This can be blending sounds, replacing sounds, any of that. Bigger chunks or parts of a word are phonics. The ability to manipulate and recognize these as parts of words is phonological awareness, which can be rhymes and syllables. Both of these have to do with the manipulation and recognition of what we hear in words. In my placement, they did Hegarty, which had a lot of blending sounds and replacing sounds. The speaker would say hat, but replace h with which would be turned into mat. This really had to do with their phonemic awareness. Next, I'm going to talk about print concept and alphabetical knowledge. Print concept has to do with what print looks like, how they convey messages, and overall how they function. Kind of like the difference between a comic book and a novel. Alphabetical knowledge has to do with names of letters in upper and lower case. In my placement, they were editing rough drafts. They were really focusing on when to use uppercase for names, people, places, and at the beginning of sentences. Next, I'm going to talk about syllabication and morphemic analysis. Syllabication is breaking words into syllables. Volcano. Morphemic analysis is breaking words into morphemes. Unbreakable, which has a prefix, a root word, and a suffix. Both have to do with breaking apart words. Now I'm going to talk about structured and balanced literacy. Balanced literacy can contain parts of structured literacy, except structured is very explicit, it is very to the point, it is very, this is what we're going to do, while balanced literacy really focuses on what the students need and has a variety of techniques involved. Next is guided versus independent reading. Guided reading obviously involves reading in a group with a teacher as a guide. This can be small group reading, reading with partners, or whole class reading. Independent reading is a student reading all by themselves without direct help from the teacher, like silent reading time. Both involve reading in the classroom and can strengthen a student's vocabulary and their reading abilities. One of the coolest types of readings I saw in the classroom is when the teacher would ask, okay, read this passage independently to yourself, and then we will all read it aloud together, which kind of has to do with guided and independent reading. Next, I'm going to talk about student diversity and text complexity. Student diversity can heavily influence everything in the classroom, but especially text complexity. Depending on the types of students in the classroom, a variety of literacy may be chosen best to represent them, and that also includes how complex the text is that they're reading. Lastly, I'm going to be talking about shared reading and word works. Word work can be used in shared reading, as both of them help students strengthen and encourage their vocabulary and literacy skills. One of the students one day brought a book to read out loud to the other students. As the student read, the other students were very engaged and were able to listen and work on their vocabulary and literacy skills as she was reading. And that is the end. This all had to do with how everything kind of flowed together, and I tried to make it in a way where it went from complex to simple. Thank you.